cartoons. Evidently, Summer wanted to go into sleep in my lap, and she realized that I want to be talking loud and playing internet. Well, does not bother Richella. No, it does not bother the Richella. Because the Richella's all sleepy like. And we'll wait for people to get in here. Because of the holidays, I stopped doing Saturday morning human cartoons. Because, in reality, from Christmas till the first of the year, YouTube is dead. And really, for the next couple months, YouTube isn't as much as it used to be. I've noticed that. I actually got a notification for a change. That's nice, and that means that, hello, Genji. We'll let people get in here. I don't really have anything formally planned. Well, put it this way. What I normally do is I'll have something ahead of time, but I've been up about 2 hours, and I have went through a ton of stuff to try to find proper audio for human cartoons today. And oh my God, the internet sucks. So I am going to be winging this program. So this will not be my normal Saturday morning human cartoons because I have never went through video reviews and found I found everything that I watched would put you back to sleep on a Saturday morning. Now, I thought about that for a while. I thought about asking everyone, if you want to go back to bed, type 1 in the chat. And then playing the audio that I found. But unless I'm going to do that, that audio ain't going to work. So I am just going to be winging a program. So this will probably end up a little more commentary than it will be my typical Saturday morning human cartoons. And now, one thing though, I do have to say that, Melton. Melton has not been going live, but he was like the perfect reserved thing for Saturday morning cartoons. And I'm not saying that we're not going to review some Melton here in a bit, because just like I said, Melton's not doing his job. His job is to be a reserved human cartoon. And since he's not, and I realized that this morning, I'm like, well, you know what? Melton has been basically your reserve because you don't really get to be much more of a cartoon person than Melton. And then I thought, well, who's more cartoon? I thought Bob and Lori. Then I tried to watch Bob and Lori content to find something to bring you. And that's when I was like, well, if people want to go back to bed, this is the perfect content to do it by. And I flipped through I scanned through it. I listened to long stretches for any glimmer of something that I could bring here to make interesting. And the only thing I can make interesting is telling you how absolutely uninteresting it was. Well, he's been uploading a little bit, but he's not been uploading our type of videos. He's been on his community tab. And even that's not worth talking about because it's mainly a bunch of songs. Hello, Pat. Well, hopefully it'll be a happy Saturday. I'm looking outside, and it's just getting light. And it looks to be very overcast today, and the high is supposed to be 50. So the afternoon temperature won't be too bad, but today's going to be mainly a day for sitting in the house and not doing much. Excuse me. And right now, I really don't have to do much. Now, yesterday I did rearrange this room because a couple days ago, because where I have seizures, I've got this chair where it's kind of a nest. I've got the back out of it where I can lean back. But I also had a coffee table right here for my convenience. And when I got out of this nest, I broke the end of my little toe on the edge of the coffee table. I mean, you couldn't have hit it any harder or odder if you tried. So, one thing I did yesterday is I moved all the furniture in this room but what I'm sitting in, so I will not hit my toe on it. Now, yesterday I could wear a shoe again, and I just don't move fast, but other than that, I'm all okay. Hello, JDS. Now, yesterday I focused on the Greenwald channel because you see, YouTube makes it really hard to grow in a community. So one thing I do is I use my other smaller channels to help bring new people into the community. And that's kind of what I did for content yesterday. You see, YouTube wants us to do shorts. And oh my God, if I had a monetized channel, I mean, that's really all a creator needs to do anymore is shorts if you have a monetized channel. But because they're promoting it, I've been doing like 2 shorts a day on the Greenwald channel, and it's starting to grow again. And we're going to get into a human cartoon, and this one's kind of me. You know, I'm going to be the star of this human cartoon. I did the stupidest video, the stupidest short, the stupidest thing I ever did on YouTube. In fact, I almost deleted it before I uploaded it because literally it is the stupidest motherfucking thing that I have ever done on YouTube. It got 1,200 views in a short. I made 4 quality shorts. I mean, with actual real humor in them. You mean real humor that were worth watching. They got little to one of them or 2 got a moderate amount of views. But the stupidest thing that I ever got on YouTube got 1,200 views in a day. I mean, that is the equivalent of me sitting here for like 3 hours during a Ernie live stream covering him when he's interesting. You know, that would get 1,200 views. And I did this. I mean, it was probably like a 5-second short. So in 5 fucking seconds, on the stupidest thing that I've ever done, I got the exact same views I would have for a 3-hour live, working my ass off and giving you serious effort into it. Well, it is, Callie, you know. I am where, see, everything filters down to me in the algorithm. You know, I say that a little jokingly. I know that sounds arrogant, and I really don't mean it like that. But, I mean, everybody that gets most invested eventually will end up here. Now, that's one reason why I go out and I find new lolcows. And that's one thing I'm doing right now. I am on a search for the next really interesting thing. Now, I have not found the next really interesting thing yet, and I'll probably find on average 3 to 5 semi-interesting people for every super interesting person that I find. So, you know, this is a little thing that I am doing, you know, because, you know, at these odd streams, sometimes I'll tell you a little more. And to be honest, since the audio that I reviewed this morning was basically unusable, you know, I'm basically filling in this live. You know, I'm winging it, so I am telling you a little plans, projects, things we're going to be doing. Well, actually, Kelly, I've got much more of a stable than JJ Stoner does. It's just you don't see it. Now, the thing is YouTube Schizophrenic has come back to YouTube. And he and I are partners. This is where I joke that, you know, all these people, all these months, you conspire, you know, they all act like I'm conspiring with everyone. And then when he came back just recently, you know, like, You know, dude, everyone tells me I'm conspiring with someone, and you are the last person that I actually conspired with. And it had been almost 2 years, I think, or at least a year and apart. Well, Ruby, we never know what's going to happen with Leticia because in reality, it all comes down to a judge. Now, her assault charges were just for throwing food, and they can't be reduced. So those are going to get thrown out because no judge is going to throw a woman in jail for 4 to 15 years over a thrown tray. Not going to happen. Those charges, and because they were against the law enforcement, they've got a law that those are not reducible. You know, she was guilty of a disorderly conduct. And they're trying to hit her with a 4 to 15 years on it, assaulting a law enforcement officer because he got his uniform messy. No judge in the universe is going to prosecute her over that. Those will end up thrown out. Now, because of that though, she might not get the 3 threatening charges consolidated. Because typically, when you've got multiple charges many times, they'll consolidate charges. Not all the time. Depends on the case. Excuse me. But once again, women tend to get more leniency than men. Now, because of those charges that will be thrown out, she might have to face the 3 fully. That is the only repercussion. To where before I said there was a chance that these 3 might get folded into 1, because typically, like say, I'm charged with 3 things of the same thing, but no other offense. Because there's no extenuating circumstances, sometimes they will consolidate the charges into 1, which would have been great for her because she would have faced 1 charge rather than 3. But because of these 2 bullshit charges on there, that can be considered an extenuating circumstance to where the charges will not be consolidated, in my opinion. But once again, this all depends on what judge she gets, their personality, their mood, and how they see the law. Hello, Princess Ice. But yeah, that's basically, you know, what it comes down to with Leticia. Now, I want Leticia in a mental facility. That's what I want. Because that's where she needs to be. And then she probably needs to be in a group home for the rest of her life after that. I don't do the coffee thing. No, I do allergic kitty things. Hold on, little kitty. I gotta move you, honey, because as I get older, I'm getting more allergic to the kitties. And she sits in my lap. And I mean, I blew my nose right before I started this. And I didn't want to have to snort like Rich Life on camera. So excuse me. Now, there was some Boyd drama, but it's so absolutely uninteresting. Rich Life and Lisa Lynn fighting again. They've been doing that forever. So, you know, that really wasn't news. Now, as I mentioned before, I reviewed Bob and Lori, but oh my God, they were so boring. Now, there was an interesting thing that I did glean from there, and I'm not mocking this. You know, where Lori wants to make up, you know, like, I wished Bob a happy flight. Everyone in the comments wished Bob a happy flight. And Lori said I was wishing death upon him. And she'll say the same thing to this, but this is something that I noticed. Bob didn't have his meds. Bob came back, he took his blood pressure medicine and his antidepressant. And he immediately said he felt bad. It's not a good sign. No, that's not. That is not a good sign. Now, him taking his medicine and then feeling bad shows me that he was not in a good condition. Don't step on the phone, honey. He was not in a good condition while he was with Lori. And the reason why he feels bad now is because he's getting his proper medication. So he can basically feel himself. Not literally. If you get my meaning. But yes, this tells me that Bob's blood pressure issues are serious. Because, there's people's issues that are more serious than others. But this shows me that Bob has a serious blood pressure issue. Now, once again, when I started having seizures several years ago, oh my God, I would get upset. And I did this for about a year in a season. So, for about a year and a quarter, the seizures would really upset me. And then I learned just to let it go because it was seriously affecting me. Like I said, the upset from having them and not being able to control my body or get certain things done when I want or need to get them done, that really affected my mental health. And I learned to let that go. Yes, I have. And I do things as I can do things. And other than that, I just shrug my shoulder and go on. Now, Bob cannot let go. Now, this is a defining quality of Bob and Lori as human cartoons. They cannot let go of anything. Ever. Bob, in the middle of his SA story, had to bring me into his bullshit and start running his mouth about me. They just can't let go. Well, I feel for you, truth be told. Oh, I've always lived alone. And now, in 2016, I busted my, if you see here, you see kind of a gap. I busted my head here, and then a few months later, because you can kind of see two streaks. Because I can't really point it out because I'm not got enough, I don't have my glasses on. But you kind of see there's like a too thin streak right here. And that's where I busted my scalp open in the barn twice having a seizure. Because remember what I said, I have to get this done. I have to get this done. And then you end up hurting yourself. So, that's where I learned is I can do what I can do. Now, fortunately, lately I've been able to do. But last month was a really bad month for me seizure-wise. Really. But, I'm back to where I am, and on the nice days, I'm working in my yard. Now, I have a huge yard, and I've got some thorn bushes that grew up in it, and I'm having to burn those out. Now, you would be surprised. Now, I waited until winter so the sap would go down so they would be easier to burn. Damn, they still don't want to burn. Like I said, thought I'd wait until winter and all the sap would go down and they'd be easier to burn, but they're still hard to burn. But, that's what I have been doing lately, and since I broke my toe, I've not been doing it. Well, I get my tips here from YouTube, and you guys have helped me out a lot, and I have to make a couple thank you videos, and I've had drama every day, and on YouTube you try to upload like once a day, usually. Now, I've been uploading 2 or 3 shorts to kind of supplement a couple of my other channels a day. Just a minute. You get that burp stuck right here? I was having that because now the only thing I've had is some Coca-Cola this morning, and I do have to say I normally don't get hungry in the morning, but I am hungry. Now, let's see about some stupid things on the internet. Because I know there was one on, but as soon as I announce it, watch her be off. Oh shit, Lisa Linlin's on. It's 8 a.m. Why the hell is she up? Oh God, her and Rich Life were fighting. Now her live here says, new crush, new day, let's get ready. Uh-oh, we got boy-girl catty drama. I think, where I said before this might be boring, but if she's going to pull the jealousy ploy, this could be interesting. Now, to frame this, Rich Life and Lisa Lynn have been fighting forever. Now, Lisa Lynn has a sister, and her name is Richella, and that's the YouTuber that asked me to name a kitty after her. And here is Richella the kitty. So this is how this drama ties to me and my cat. And this isn't a proverbial sister. Lisa Linlin's real sister is Richella. And Richella is Richella's cat godmother. Now, Lisa Lynn does not monetize her channel. And she just plays music. And she just started 7 minutes ago. And she's not talking. And I'm not going to play her music because, oh my God, she's got a horrible taste in music. In my opinion. Now, if she, when she starts bitching, that will be interesting. So, we'll see if Trisha Licious is still on. That was the other person I was mentioning. Yep, Trisha Licious is still on. Because she's got her daughter back. And once again, where I tell you I like to deal with the more problematic issue people. And now that, and I used to cover her until she lost her daughter. Because she would drag her daughter out on her drug binges. And she has her daughter back again. So I'm going back to keeping my eye on Trisha Licious. Now, she's been streaming forever. It says live, spicy ketchup and sleep stream.
You know what? I'm gonna go pee one more time and then
Well, she's been on for over 3 hours. Well, she's gonna go to pee and then she's gonna lay down, everyone. Well, what we'll do right now, since she's going to go to pee and lay down, we're really not interested in peeing with her, and we're really not interested in laying down, so we will go back to the beginning of this live almost 4 hours ago, and we will listen to some of it, because I'm interested in her beginning, because I'm interested to see how she's going to frame everything, because I expect it will be a human cartoon.
Hey guys.
Thank you, JDS.
Hi,
Now, before I get in there, I'll explain it. My therapist said I do not dissociate. I don't daydream either. That's where I'm diagnosed as psychologically unique. You will notice there's no I-ums in my speech. Now, once again, where I have seizures, if I start having dissociative speech, like an or a that is my condition. But normally I'm speaking just like I am now. And I was just sitting in therapy one day and my therapist just looked right at me like this quizzically and said, Roger, you don't dissociate. And this was like, after a year and a half of therapy. And that was one of the things that she diagnosed, that I do not dissociate. But that helps me stay in the moment, but it also impedes me because I really don't have dreams, ambitions, because I'm stuck in the moment. Now, that helps doing this, but in reality, it is an issue in life.
I know it's late, or good morning, I should say. I know it's super late. It's Friday, well, technically Saturday morning, late Friday night, early Saturday morning.
She's 2 to 3 hours behind us.
Been asking for a while for me to do
I think 3.
stream. So I'm gonna do a sleep stream tonight. But
not sure where she is.
And catch up and all that good stuff, because I know I haven't been around for a minute. Ooh, trying to get this straight, and it's just not wanting to stay straight. And there's been a lot going on in the Carterverse and otherwise. So.
Now, she was an Aaron Carter groupie. She used to try to follow him around. Now, Aaron Carter's dead, as we all know. Now, but she's not letting go. In fact, she's talking more about him dead than she was alive when I was covering her last. So, this may be her way of dealing with this, because she has to deal with her own mortality. And she's an alcoholic. But she only drinks Corona. And as you can see, Trisha Licious has got her big gulp. You know, she can't drink the little cans. She's got to drink the immense cans. And she's got her Cash App up on. Now, when she said, "I've not been on in a while," that told me what I wanted to know. Because she's got her Cash App, Trisha Licious 420. And I thought, I'm like, seriously, you know, you have your Cash App and you put a pot reference behind it. I mean, she's one of these girls that have children that are late middle-aged that still think they're 16.
There is a lot to talk about. If you guys want to chat and just catch up with me, or ask me any questions or whatever, I'm down to chat before I go to sleep, for sure.
Now, normally, towards chat, she's a fuck you kind of person. She don't care about chat. She'll mock chat. She'll be a CXNT. So, yes, this is showing me that Trisha Licious is here to farm money. Now, she may be a evil... Let's see, this is one of these things. She's one of these people that only has feeling for herself and her own wants. But she knows how to play you. Because, you know, that used to be her gig. You know, using her looks to manipulate people. And once again, she still tries that, though at this age, you know, like, you know me, I'm starting to show my age. And she has started to show her age a little more than me. And once again, the world is a very unforgiving place, especially for a woman that just lived her entire life off spreading her legs. And let me be honest, this is what Trisha Licious has done her entire life. Played the party girl and spread her legs. And played the victim. And that is basically her life.
I want you to get done right now so I can make this bed up.
Hello, Cat.
And yeah, so I'm not going to be going to sleep for a minute. I am definitely down to catch up and chat a little bit first. Hey, Gigi Allen, welcome.
Well, I've been cleared to drive. You know, that is one thing. I have been cleared to drive.
Well, technically, I guess it's Saturday now, but I'm going to be probably streaming like tonight, and I'll probably do another sleep stream tomorrow as well. I don't know. I might stream all day tomorrow. Who knows? I don't know. I need to go to the grocery store. My cat just said something really weird.
Now, you said, I may stream all tomorrow, and I need to go to the grocery store. Okay. We're done with Trisha Licious, because this is kind of what I wanted to know. Now, once again, because she's doing her good girl routine because she wants money, it's not going to be interesting. Because I know her stick. You know, she'll play the poor girl routine at this, and it will end up like listening to a Jimbo Live. Because you can listen to a few minutes of Trisha Licious, and you will kind of have the theme for the day. Well, I hope you feel better, Gingy. Now we'll go see if Lisa Lynn's ever started talking. Well, I see one of the account now. She's evidently still not talking. I guess she's just put that up as a title to incite rich life, is what I'm guessing. But yes, she's only had 2 people chatting. She's only got 4 people in her room. But one of the accounts is one of them that we had to block in Nicolina's the day before yesterday. So that's interesting to know. That's a Boyd account. I think it's Cotton-Eyed Darren, to be honest with you, because it was made the same day his channel was struck. Because I have a video to shoot today. I mean, Rap thought he was the greatest troll of all time. That is me. But, you know, you can get a clown, you can send a DoorDash, but, I mean, my trolls take over time. I mean, it's like a chess game, where eventually I put the other guy in checkmate. And Cotton-Eyed Darren has been slandering and lying about me left and right. And I look up his channel now, and it's gone. And anyone looking up his channel will see Grimgoth. Any motherfucker that looks for Cotton-Eyed Darren will find Grimgoth giving his eulogy. Come on.
We have gathered here today to remember Cotton-Eyed Darren. Well, unfortunately, Cotton-Eyed Darren fucked with the villains of the Dark Grove, and well, we handed the bunny his ass. Just saying. So yes, this is our victory tour on the Grimgoth Darkel channel. Yes, Thanatos has claimed another victim. Now, he does not do much on the channel, but he is our leader. Yes, and he has now taken Cotton-Eyed Darren, skinned his ass, and is now going to make bear gloves. But until next time, it has been I, Graham Goth.
Yes, so anyone that goes to look for Cotton-Eyed Darren is seeing me, because you see, I planned from the very beginning that my first video on Cotton-Eyed Darren would be his termination, because I set him up. Actually, the original setup was for someone else, but it works for everyone. Hello, Sherry. Well, she can say what she wants, but I didn't need to long form Darren, because we have a story here. A long story that would go to this channel before, well, other than Sherry, anyone that's here. I almost said anyone that was here, but, you know, Sherry was here in that era. Now, we go to 2 years ago. Now, there was a creator called Deity, and he got popular with the Chris Hansen stuff, and he got over 8,000 subscribers. Well, Deity was a dirty deleter, and he started getting chats of 3 to 5 fucking hundred and slandering me, and then dirty deleting it all, calling me a homophobe and a racist and all the typical cancel bullshit culture. And then I had giant hate mobs invading my chat and trying to flag my channel. Now, also, you've seen the YouTube schizophrenic in here. This fits in with his story too. Once again, he can receipt all of this. The YouTube schizophrenic was a viewer, just like you. He didn't make videos. I mean, he was a YouTube watcher. That was it. And then Deity started doing the same thing to him. I mean, I was a creator. I mean, the YouTube schizophrenic was just a watcher. And then the YouTube schizophrenic had to become a creator to defend himself. Now, this was all about a month and a half before Halloween. And I was on a live on my other channel, and I said I was going to dress up like a girl for Halloween. Well, the women in my chat, they wanted it to be a more than once thing. So the women in the chat created Verily Veronica. The chat even picked out the name. Because when they said this, I'm like, well, you know what? I could fix Deity's little red wagon if I did that. And then after I started fixing his little red wagon using Verily Veronica, then I created an Instagram account. And I intentionally shot some pictures that were within Instagram TOS, but on YouTube would get your channel terminated. And he put that picture in 3 fucking videos. And I got him terminated over that. And I didn't even have to do anything because it was under community guidelines. Because I had planted that there on Instagram the entire time to destroy my enemies if they went over X line. And of course, that was a measured response. Because this response would only be triggered by people that went way over YouTube terms of service. In other words, it was a honey trap for the stupidest of the stupid. But we go back to the very first Verily Veronica video, almost 3 years ago. Verily Veronica debunks Deity. And this was like one of his doing his dirty deletes. And we're going to play these 18 minutes for me to show you. Damn, it's a little dark. I want to show you Verily Veronica, but yes, this was Verily Veronica on her very first video. Now, the funny thing is when Deity started this, I was actually getting ready to go live with my first Verily Veronica live. I mean, it was like an hour before. I had shot several videos that day, and I was just waiting for like an hour or so to go live. And I was, like I said, I was ready for my live, and then Deity comes on and is running his mouth, and I clipped a bunch of it to debunk him. And this will be Deity of YouTube running his blank sucker, and YouTube and Schizophrenic and I fixed his little red wagon. Because you see, that's one thing with YouTube and Schizophrenic together, and me, because we can fuck some shit up on YouTube. I mean, because you know how smart I am? Well, you know what? YouTube Schizophrenic is just as smart. And when we get together, like I said, we have not met our match. Now, our problem is usually, Ben, we just annihilate them too quick. I mean, we get ready for a long fight campaign, and usually the other guy just folds over.
It's Verily Veronica, and I'm sitting here listening to a live stream.
Well, actually, this is not my channel. Now, I can go live on the Verily Veronica channel. I can go live on the Thanatos Magus channel. I can go live on the Grim Goth, the Dark Elf channel. And I rebuilt this channel in 9 months. So, eat my dick and get blocked. So there you go. Darren, you ate the Verily Veronica honey trap. You terminated yourself. That's what community guidelines does. I mean, you put sexual material on YouTube. And you got your ass terminated, bitch. And you put up a picture of a woman that was not my mother. My mother was tall. She was skinny her entire life. And she had red hair. And she had a 1950 fucking hairdo. You know how the women usually like take the hairdo of their youth and stick with it? You know, My mother was a teenager in the 1950s.
Well, he has just accused everyone who talks to a certain creator of being a predator against children. And the person that he's accused...
Oh, yeah. And he would, too. Now, this is why YouTube Schizophrenic had to become a creator. Because he was accusing me of being a predator. He was accusing YouTube Schizophrenic of being a predator. And he was accusing both of us being in league with a creator that neither of us had ever talked to.
Accusing of being a predator against children? I've yet to see any actual evidence. Listen to this moron.
Beyond the fact that I do commentary on people, they are
also
genuinely
said and
upset
lied
that
about
I'm not up
peanut
here
gallery.
posting them up and saying their
She
name.
makes sock
Like
accounts,
RSN
and I
apparently
know
was
it's
so
her
eager
in
to
my
have me come
chat.
on and be interviewed by
Well,
him
no,
to
it's not,
squash this
because she
beef.
doesn't.
Bitch, how
She
are you
rarely
gonna squash
watches
a beef
any of
with
us
me when the
because
whole
she
beef
wants to
is
keep her
stemming from the
commentary
fact that
fresh.
you're a predator?
Because Verily Veronica
No.
speaks with her.
So he has it
Us
in his
girls
mind that I
talk.
can solve whatever bullshit problem
But
he has
here
by
we go with the
exonerating
little
him and saying he's
narcissist
not
with his
guilty. But
gaslighting.
that is not for me to do.
Supposedly the
Like I
peanut
said, in
gallery
that one
sits
instance,
in
maybe
his
the
chat all the
messages
time.
he showed me weren't
When
a
rarely
factor.
ever
I don't
there.
know.
The
But there
peanut
was
gallery
reasonable
has a
doubt, and I
channel
will
to
say
do.
that. But I will never say
She
that
was
he doesn't
friendly
have a
with him.
predatory
She just went in the comments
nature,
and said
'cause he
her
obviously
channel was
does.
deleted. She made
Now, you see, that was what's the kind of shit deed he would do. When he was confronted that there's not a predator, he has a predatory nature. You know, when he got confronted with, a flat out lie, that he was lying, this is what he's coming back in his live to, is saying, well, I know this person has a predatory nature. Now, you can say that about Jimbo Collins because, past actions twice. You can have an accident, but, Jimbo Collins, obviously that shows a predatory nature. And other than that, you really can't say that about many YouTubers. Now, as you can see, my hair was more full a few years ago.
And what her subscribers, to let her old subscribers know, because as you know, we have crossover on everyone's channel. Oh, not Deity. That was somehow some grand offense. Instead of helping a fellow creator, Deity just immediately tries to turn the peanut gallery into an absolute villain. Now, I'm not listening to what this moron has to say right now, but I'm going to pause.
Now, I forgot about that. I forgot he was attacking that other creator too. I mean, this is what Deity would do. He would make a live. He would spam attacks and allegations and then send hate mobs everywhere. Literally. Now, one thing that happened is because he hated me so much, I became the center of resistance against him. And all of the people that he abused filtered over to my channel.
Just for a moment, let's hear what he has to say.
Thank you so much, Nathaniel. I just tuned in to see you super stressed. That won't do. Guess I'll have to super chat until you smile. Thank you, Nathaniel. Do not waste money on me, y'all, just because I'm in a pissy mood. I've been in a lot of pissy moods lately. I just felt the need to come on and explain some things that I've been very vague about, and I probably still am being vague.
Now, that's the thing with Deity. I mean, he would go and gaslight. Oh, shit. He would gaslight self-harm, or he would always come on and be in a bad mood until about the third super chat. And he had his audience because they were mostly SJWs. I mean, this is what he was doing. He was mostly had an SJW audience. Not all, because there's a lot of people that just wanted to talk about the large girls. But, I mean, we made a joke about him. Now, to let you know, Phil is gay, which is absolutely positively fine that Phil is gay. It's just, this is the center of Phil's life. I mean, if there's any adversity in the universe or any adversity in his life, it's because he's being oppressed because he's gay. Which, no one, I mean, even on my other channel, no one cared that Phil is gay. But supposedly we're all homophobic, blah, blah, and we were out to get him because we were a bunch of haters, and no one cared what Phil did with his life. And Phil, oh, well, I don't want to say this, but once again, I'm trying to be fair to the guy, but he couldn't get any. See, that was a problem with Phil, is Phil still couldn't get any. Now, another thing is, there is a work incident with him and a guy. Let's put it that way. And this is the last time that anyone knew that Phil had got something. Now, when Phil came to YouTube, he was a skinny, fit human being. And he seemed to have a soul then. Of course, he was still, a jittery SJW. But the longer he was on YouTube, the more he devolved as a human being. And now he's basically a bloated sack of protoplasm. And I did a recent update video, and I had went on his video a while, and I flipped on, and the first thing he went, y'all, I'm going bald, and I'm dying. And then I'm like, okay, gotta listen to this for a while. And then, of course, he just cried and whined, and he's not really dying, and there's nothing wrong with him. So I went back to the time index I started, and I clipped the clip of him saying he was going bald and dying, and that was my update, because anyone from my old community that saw that would immediately just laugh their head off because, yep, that's Deity. Same kind of crap as usual. Now, his channel now has lost like 2,500 subscribers. We'll pull out a Verily Veronica. And he's still trying to cover the fat girls, and and to be honest, everyone in the world is about sick of them. They don't draw. Yeah, he's got 6,550 subscribers. And his last live, you heard his subscriber count, is, hey guys, and he streamed 11 hours ago for over 3 hours and 15 minutes, and he got 158 views. I mean, this makes Bob and Lori look good, because once again, Bob and Lori have a channel half his size, and they're at least drawing twice the views. Now, this was the amount of views that Lori drew all by herself the other day. Just saying. But Lori did that in an hour, where it took Phil. Now, his real name's Phil. Now, once again, usually when YouTube Schizophrenic and I are saying Phil, we don't mean Ernie's boyfriend. We mean Deity. Now, just for a few minutes, I don't know what he's going to say. Now, once again, he started out as a fit human being on YouTube. Hey, he's still got ads. He's still monetized.
Are you okay? I need to get out. Hi.
And like I said, when he started YouTube,
I'm a good Christian woman. I have my medicine in my mouth, so it's gonna sound weird when I talk. Hey, Donna.
now, what his medicine is Suboxone. Yes, that is Deity's medicine. He's taking Suboxone because he used to be addicted to pills. Now, he lives at home in Alabama in his parents' trailer. Now, when I used to cover him, he was 26 years old. Wow. That means he should be like 29 now. And he's still in his parents' trailer, and it's been more than 3 years off the pills, and he's still taking Suboxone and living in mommy's shack. Hi, Mimi.
Hey, Wyatt. Hey, Stanley.
Now, the sad thing is, he's wasted potential. The problem is his ideology and his self-victimhood wrapped together around him to where it took a potential good person and ruined him. Because, you know, I've given this individual long years of thought. And once again, when he came to YouTube, he actually had potential. But the problem is his attempts at self-victimization ruined his channel.
So there are 2 foodie beauty streams we can react to.
Hello, oh hell. But this is kind of also illustrative of, you know, how a channel can die. Now, this is like The Stand. The Stand's channel is slowly dying. He needs the drama that we've been having on YouTube.
Hey, Fatal. Y'all, I'm letting my medicine dissolve before we get into it.
Well, yeah, he's letting his Suboxone dissolve because he's got a Suboxone strip under his tongue.
Congrats, Mansoor. Hey, Catspell.
Now, I don't begrudge him that, but the fact of the matter is that shows with over 3 years, he's not got off the Suboxone from kicking pills. Hello, Peach.
Congrats, Jenny. No, I haven't, Wyatt. Where do I hear that? Where do I hear that?
But this is what he's become. I mean, and he just, I mean.
Hey, Varen.
But he would never, like I say, there was no human being that, yeah, I was going to think of how to frame this. There was no human being that could live up to his standard, and he wouldn't go out in the community being friendly to anyone. He always complained. He always tore down, and quickly no one liked him. Fast forward in 10 minutes.
You can watch one now and one tomorrow. You voted, Kelly. Thank you.
We'll go to something else here in a few minutes. I just wanted to give a sample.
Them, so I don't know which one is the more
and to bounce off some commentary.
Like, I don't know. Just show the good parts. I don't know how to do that, Donna, because I haven't watched them yet. Karma all the way. I can get a copy on Amazon. A copy of what? Hey, Fresh Flowers. Which came first? Watch the first one. Karma, because Taylor Swift cares about it.
Now, do any of you know who Stevie Wolfe is? Type a 1 in your chat if you know who Stevie Wolfe is. You know, he's kind of a larger YouTuber. I guess no one knows. Well, Sherry does. Well, Sherry was here. But yes, Deity got him on panel when his channel was blowing up. And he got Stevie Wolfe and himself to call myself, me, and YouTube schizophrenic predators. And that's when I decided, you know, remember about the whole Verily Veronica thing? That's when I decided that, you know what? Why don't I play a trans character and create myself some TOS protection? The girls in chat wanted it. And when I was in that live and they were trying to goad me into it, I'm like, well, you know what? This might not be a bad idea, because Stevie Wolfe was already up there trying to say I'm a predator just because Deity said it. I mean, that was it. That was the whole proof that the YouTube schizophrenic and I were predators. And at this time, YouTube Schizophrenic and I didn't know each other except as chatters. I mean, there is no contact between us before we were both being accused of being in league with RSN and predators. And this is why, if I was ever to see Stevie Wolfe, I'd whip that dude. I mean, seriously. All over the floor. Yes, get in front of, at that chat because of him in there, it was like, I was over 1,000 people chat. I'm like, okay, if I ever see you, I'm going to knock your fucking head off. And that's my policy with Stevie Wolfe. And I'll go to jail for 90 days. So yes, that's a little lore. Now, because you see, like I said, this focuses into old Roger drama. I mean, I have always been involved in drama. Wherever I go, whatever I do, if you wait around just for a little while, there is a drama blow up. And it's almost always not my fault. Almost. And I'm starting to make myself laugh. God, they've hid the YouTube Schizophrenic. When I punch him in, they don't want him to be found. Now, thank you for everyone that subscribed to him. You will not be sad. Now, he's back on YouTube, and he will be looking things up, and he will find more stuff. And he and I are going to go on the search for the next big thing. Once again, to where I may seem to be in chats less, but the reason why is because I'm going out there and looking for the next big thing. Now, the last time was Leticia, and I was like Leticia's 220-some subscriber, and the YouTube Schizophrenic has been catching up on Leticia, and I've also been giving him some reference material. I showed him the Adonis Paul documentaries. Then some other people were asking about Adrastia because he had never heard of her. So I linked the Adrastia stuff to him. And I also showed him Tartanomicon and where all the Shanny stuff is hid. So I haven't heard from him much in the last day, but I guarantee a lot of that reason is because he has been busy digesting things. Now, he will also go out and find things on his own, because that's what we do. So, you know, this is going to be one of the things that we will be doing behind the scenes. I will be chatting less, and I will be hitting my explore options more. Now, if we go back to his videos, okay, he does this one good, yes. In fact, you know what, really? We'll let him present this. Now, what and of his early videos are, Deity has a problem, a pattern of behavior. And he does clips, and he will have this all clipped up properly. And then after this, we will not talk about Deity anymore. Just saying. I mean, after, you know, this 20-minute we're going to run right here, you know, we're not going to. And I'm going to do this free of commentary. That way you will get the experience of him, and none of this will be in my words. And I'm just going to sit here, and I will type in chat.
Hello. Today I would like to talk about Deity. Now, I had done so before in a previous live stream. My first ever live stream, in fact. But to be honest, it's terrible, poorly done, and most people did not even get to that point. So, I'm going to make a single video directly addressing everything. Well, could be more. Depends on how far this rabbit hole goes. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as is tradition. And, let's open this can of worms here. Now, I've been on YouTube a long time. I've never been banned from any community for any reason, except for Chris Hansen's stream, because I question. So when I was banned and blocked unceremoniously, the way I was inspired.
Yeah. You see, that is something when Chris Hansen came to YouTube. If you asked a question, anything that wouldn't fit his narrative, They just blocked you.
To come to YouTube to defend myself. So, for that, Deity, I thank you, as you have likely kickstarted my entire channel with your mere inspiration. So, we are going to get into some background. Then I'm going to explain to you the situation and how the future is going to be affected. I began watching Deity around the time of the Shiloh interview with Chris Hansen, pre-New Year's stream, pre-RSN videos at all. Didn't know who RSN, Talia, and Deity were. Was a rather uneducated peasant at the time. In a sea of corporate shills and globalist phonies, he seemed like a beacon of legitimacy, at least more so than your average person on YouTube. And well, when you're dealing with real people, you tend to have real problems that you don't find on more corporate channels. And those are the ones I want to get into today. You see, he was having his first ever, I think it was second, live stream where he was actually including some guests on. I think he was testing the software at the time. I was willing to come on. I wanted to talk to the guy. You see, me and him had an accord going back months. We had a nice back and forth. We'd both cracked each other up. Hell, I even made our Twitter account and started following him. Didn't like Twitter beforehand. Figured why not. We had never had a crossword between us. Now, I didn't go out and defend the guy. I'm not his PR guy. I'm not paid by him to defend him online. But I've never gone to his streams and said anything rude. Never gone to anyone else's streams and said anything rude about him. No, we're going to get into the war crime that I committed against him. But let's first get into his response to me. I'm set up now. Feel free to send it whenever. Now, I'm going to read you this cringy wall of text I was sent. And I will try to do so without mocking anybody. Apparently, according to the screenshots the moderating team shared with me, they've noted the fact you go back and forth between communities. We have no right to control who it is that you watch or support, and we aren't trying to. However, we are controlling who is and is not allowed to participate in the streams, as that can directly affect the community. I know that you will take offense to this, and that you will more than likely resort to trolling or continuing to talk badly about me with RSN. Some lady named Holly Undead, and the others in that community, and that is fine. However, now that you can no longer participate in mine, you will have more time to spend with those types of people. I'm not being catty or rude. I'm simply saying that to the moderating team, this came across as being very two-faced, especially when apparently you commented on a truly horrible video that some old lady made about me today, and thought it was amazing. I haven't seen the video, so I don't even know what it's about. However, I do trust my moderating team in saying that it was horribly done and horribly offensive. People can support who they want to support and enjoy who they want to enjoy. What they should not do, though, is pretend to be someone else while spending time with some.
Now, I wasn't going to talk, but in reality, that was his comment. Amazing. That was it, with 3 exclamation parts. And Holly Undead had did a Deity parody where she dressed up like Deity and tried to act like him. And it was a funny parody. And he was a Deity watcher. And that's all he did. Is he thought it was funny.
Someone else's community. I'm sorry, we were no longer welcome in mine. Deity, you are almost 30 years old. Grow up, first of all. Sending a random person this wall of text. Grow up. I'm just gonna get that out of the way now. You claim to be almost 30 years old. Grow up.
Well, then he's over 30 now.
I'd like to discuss the war crime comment that I committed that caused all of this. And I want you to brace yourselves, because it's truly horrifying. Now I'll admit straight up, the Deity Unfiltered is a very rude video. I don't necessarily agree with everything that was said in it, but it made me laugh quite a bit, actually. And I think the reason that it made his moderators so mad is because it hit a little too close to home. I will link it in the description because it is such a funny video. And if you are a fan of Deity that is capable of laughing at themselves, you will understand why I found it funny. So now I plan to go through that entire wall of text, line by line, explain to you why you're wrong, and why it makes you look really goddamn bad. Now, most of this, I would say, is going to be directed at his moderators, because up until recently, my only issue mole on the inside, they haven't improved at all and have seemingly gotten worse. So, shout out to my mole and your moderator team for continuing to keep me updated. They've noted the fact you go back and forth between communities, they being the moderator team. That is wrong. I did not go back and forth between communities, really, until recently. Prior to that point, I was 90% in the Deity community and maybe 10% in the Holly Undead community and 0% in the RSN community, but we'll get to that. Let's address that. You are a bigger paranoid schizophrenic than I am. Okay? I am not a deep cover RSN agent. I do not like RSN. I think RSN is rapey. I would not trust him with my daughter. I have tried over and over again to get that clear to people. If I get called an RSN sleeper agent one more time, I will have a psychiatric episode. Now, I'm going to debunk.
No, I wasn't going to pause it, but I mean, that is what was happening. I mean, both me and him. And at the time, I had never traded a word with the man.
This RSN sleeper agent theory. Because I'm not letting some overgrown fucking child slander my name, damage my brand. This is an unrelated Discord that has nothing to do with Deity and is a fan Discord for someone else entirely who I will not be dragging into this, nor will I be dragging into the people I speak to on that Discord. I have blurred out all non-relevant things. Queen of Spade, the person replying, or the person who started this post, is a known troll and drama starter, so I'm not going to bother censoring their name. They are a content creator as well.
Yeah,
they do anti.
Now, remember what I say, I have a never-ending bag of lolcows. Dee Dee's one, and he just mentioned the Queen of Spade, and she is the Spurred Queen. But, you got to have a high-energy day to deal with her.
MLM content. I will be copyright striking Deity's live stream claiming RSN is victimizing me. Yes, I will be. If Vince can copyright strike, then I can. Loki and Deity are both getting it tonight. F this, I'm done. Y'all are left with the wrong bitch. Over. So I broke my own rule about not playing PR guy for people online. Just this once, to appeal to her sense of reason, one lunatic to another. I don't support the abuse of the copyright system. It's a tool employed by some of the most unprofessional people on the platform. I don't know exactly what is going on here, but if you are an aspiring content creator, that stuff will follow your channel forever. It's not the way. I would like to issue an apology to Deity. I denied you the opportunity to learn a valuable lesson by losing your channel. I shouldn't have been involved, and that was my mistake. I want that to be the end of that little discussion. I am not a deep state RSN agent who's shown no evidence of me being a deep state RSN agent, but one comment on a parody video from someone who is friends with RSN. You understand why one can make the assumption that you are willingly lying to your audience about that. Some lady named Holly Undead and the others in that community. Deity, would you like to know what bad things I've said about you to Holly Undead? Right after you sent me that, I did call you a whiny bitch. That's because you are a whiny bitch. I don't see how you can make any argument against that between you sending me this and all your past behavior, and especially your current behavior, which we'll be getting into shortly. And yes, I know by making this video, I am a whiny bitch as well. Not that much of a whiny bitch. Jesus Christ. Now that you can no longer participate in mine, you will have more time to spend with those types of people. Man, I read comments all the time saying Deity is too sensitive for YouTube. I'm glad you're out there really proving them wrong. I'm not being catty or rude. No, you're bitching and moaning. I'm simply stating that to the moderator team, this came across as being very two-faced. See, that's the line that inspired me to make my first stream, to even discuss this topic at all. Two-faced. As if this was some fucking high school drama. Two-faced. You have no evidence of me being two-faced, except for a comment on a parody video. Deity, you are almost 30 years old. Step out of your goddamn house. Realize the world isn't so goddamn black and white like that. Especially when you commented on a truly horrible video that some old lady made about me today and thought it was amazing.
Now, the YouTube Schizophrenic and I will have a lot of crossover content. So once again, it would be advisable if you're subscribed to me to subscribe to him. Because once again, we will have things that we will have over there that will be outside of our regular community. Once again, we both are adventurous young men, and we are going to go out there and find new interesting shit that you have never seen before, and we will be presenting it as content. And if there's a next Leticia out there, we will find it. There's a few little horrible creatures, but nothing that I think is riveting enough to make regular content. You're kind of like point at the funny creatures right now. Leticia was one of the rare things, and the YouTube Schizophrenic did miss Philip Greenwald. Now, I do have to say, my friend, that you did miss one of the funnest things that ever was on YouTube. And that was Philip Greenwald, because in reality, he was the next Chris Chan. And he was here recently on a sock account. Because you see, Philip Greenwald has a crush on Rosie Wren. Now, once again, how did Roger know who Rosie Wren was? Think about this community. I knew who Rosie Wren was and all about her ahead of the time because one of my lolcows had a crush on him. And this is who we were talking about, Philip Greenwald. And he hated Playmate Tessie. Totally hated Playmate Tessie. And he was on a sock account. And he went and commented, he had been here. And he went and commented on one of my old videos about him and then started fighting with me on that video. And then I finally said, Philip, is that you? And then he never answered again. And I guarantee it was Philip because he was arguing a stupid ass point. Now, Cyanide Cupcake pretended to be his mother. She made a sock account called Mother Greenwald. And she used to badger the hell out of him. And the poor guy would bite on everything.
Deity, this is not how a normal person talks. A horrible video that some old lady made about me today.
Well,
Deity, the longer...
in reality, our styles complement each other. Because he's giving you video and analysis, and I give commentary and analysis. And the two works great together because he will give a video aspect and then I will basically make sure that nothing falls through the cracks. So typically when he and I do something, it's a really good team because we complement each other. There's no above. Like I said, we're a team. We complement each other. And Nicolina is capable of that kind of teamwork also. It's just she's more feely. He and I are more thinky. And once again, thinky usually does well. But as I mentioned earlier, he and I will, when we find someone, we will prepare for a long campaign. And usually they roll over pretty quick. Now, we don't want them to roll over. And in fact, there's times behind the scenes we lament the fact that it was too easy. But we will be going out there and trying to find the next cool thing.
I allow myself to think about this, the more
his mommy won't let him.
You are a man-child. Not that you're too sensitive for YouTube or anything like that. You are simply a man-child. A 14-year-old in the body of a nearly 30-year-old man. Because that is the message I would expect from some Minecraft YouTuber that I left a comment on a parody video of. Not someone like you. I think you'll find that that's the long-running theme of this video, is Deity does not act his age in the slightest.
I'll keep that in mind, Sherry, after this.
Whatever issues he may or may not
because this is just a video.
But something isn't right with the guy. I haven't seen the video, so I don't know what it's about. However, I do trust my moderating team. You see, that's your first mistake. You didn't watch the video yourself, and you trust your mean girl moderator team to actually get shit done. I'm here to break some news to you if you happen to watch this video. Your moderating team are culture minders that would make the Soviet Union blush. They go onto other people's channels to start drama with them, and they apparently saw it there, screen capped it, and ran it off to the teacher with tears in their eyes. Like I said, mean girls.
Now, they would too. Remember how I said that there was a lot of SJWs in his channel, and he would appoint them as mods, and they would go out among the YouTube universe acting as Nazis. And this is where, remember I said, as long as everything's respectful and no fighting in chat, we're going to be very lenient on who's in and who's out here. And it's because Deity has shown me that this is the best way to be. Creators, they do not get that luxury, but, unless you're what we would consider problematic, no one's going to get arbitrarily banned unless they're problematic. Like River. River is problematic. So I don't wait for River to come in here and say something bad. I just have her banned.
Fucking high school drama. Why you keep these people under your thumb is beyond me. Perhaps they control you, and they are using your channel to further their own ends. But I would hate to speculate about that. People can support who they want to support, and enjoy who they want to enjoy. What they should not do, though, is pretend to be someone else while spending time within someone else's communities. Who was I pretending to be, Deity? I'm very curious to hear that. You see, this is the sort of thing that leads me to believe you are a bigger paranoid schizophrenic than I am. You've taken a single screenshotted comment, made connections that weren't there, and extrapolated.
Oh, yeah, he was so far into his ideology, all you had to do was just say jingoism. At the time where supposedly YouTube Schizophrenic and I were in league with RSN, when that started, we had just traded words in a chat, at that point. But my channel, because of his moderators and their team of people just literally annihilating just viewers, all of those people came over to my place and added a subsector to my community, which was basically the Deity refugees. And that was a part of my community on the other channel. And you'll see one or two. It's like Sasha. You see Sasha in here now and then, and he's a Deity refugee.
To the absolute most dramatic end. It is, if nothing else, a fascinating and amusing case study. I'm sorry, but you are no longer welcome in mine. So naturally, you ended it in the most melodramatic way possible. I kind of saw that coming about halfway through that wall of text you sent me. A reminder for the future. I'm not your ex-boyfriend. We don't know each other personally. Do not send anyone walls of texts like that. It looks bad. It's humiliating. Someone might be an asshole like me and blast you out in public. See, I would normally make videos on this topic, but I was completely blocked from communicating with him. So, I guess there's nowhere else to do it but publicly. And to be honest, I really do want to draw awareness to whatever's going on in his head and the actions and various dramas his moderators are starting. If nothing else, this video can be a matter of public record that can follow him and warn others before joining the Deity Hugbox community.
And that's why we're playing this once again. This is the receipt to frame some of the stuff, and this is Roger history and lore, and this is the YouTube Schizophrenic origin story.
And I do truly believe Deity is attempting to build himself a hugbox, no matter the cost. But the only reason I'm even covering this topic again past my very first live stream is because it's gotten worse and more interesting. Now, as you can see, he has made the decision to protect his Twitter account, to further protect the echo chamber, to add structural integrity to the hug box he's attempting to build. Now, before you ask, his tweets aren't that interesting. Despite his Twitter account being protected, he's being fairly boring. He whines occasionally about his video issues, but nothing worth making a video or calling him out for, at least that I noticed from my short perusing before I started filming. Now, I want to pivot from that into the current issues with Deity, his channel, his moderators, and his outright treatment of fans. And I'm not talking about myself here either. I will be linking another streamer in the description who has had problems with the moderating team. Now, go send this person some love on my behalf. They are funny as hell, they make great content, and they deserve more support. But I bring it up to highlight a pattern of behavior, as Deity likes to say.
I'm guessing that was Kanish.
Especially for what I'm about to get into now. Those of you who watched my very first live stream / video know that I made a joke about having 1,000 sock accounts that I could go talk in Deity's chat whenever I felt like it. Well, I wasn't lying, but I hadn't actually done so until today. I saw he had protected his Twitter account. I was curious, is there anything interesting going on? You see, I stumbled into his live stream just to take a peek around, see what's going on, maybe say hi to some people who recognize my sock accounts. But I go in there and I see him accusing some random person.
Hello, red-haired girl.
Stream, I think you have an ulterior motive. Now, you're accusing random people in your chat of having ulterior motives, like they were deep state sleeper agents for RSN. I don't know the level of mental gymnastics it takes to think everyone in your chat is out to get you. If it wasn't scary, it would be funny. Now, I'd love to have some footage to back up what I'm saying, but Deity insists on hiding all his live streams, which I'm going to get into as well. I have a problem with that, especially when it's been turned against me. Now, Deity, if you're going to talk shit about people, have the balls to leave it up. You think that you can just talk crap about people, hide it, so that way the telephone game leaks it back to them, and what, you're just going to scamper away, prance off into the fucking sunset, and get away with it? No.
And this is what Deity was doing. He was doing this with his large audience, and he would hide all the evidence, and it would be a game of telephone. And once again, I've been accused of every horrible thing that you could think of. And this is how it happened.
A lot of us have friends. A lot of us don't take shit lying down.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you privated your Twitter account, allegedly, because you were worried people would come on your stream and make a fool of themselves. Well, I'll have you know, that was something I thought about doing. Going on your stream and putting you on blast. I decided against it because I thought it would be rude. But now, I'm making it a goal. So, please, live in paranoia. Live in some sort of warped reality where everyone is out to get you. Because they might be. You see, to summarize all of this, Deity needs to grow up. Big time. He hasn't done a lot of maturing so far in his life, that much is clear. I would also like to say the actions of your moderators, and now your personal actions, has completely 180'd a fan of yours since the early days of the Onision coverage, the Dollar General discrimination stuff, back when you were complaining about that, which, by the way, I'm even beginning to question now. You've won.
I forgot about that. You see, well, after YouTube Schizophrenic and I figured out what buttons to push, there was one famous thing I did going, they keep making video after video after video about me. And I mean, and that was our running joke. I mean, so, well, what should I do? I'm like, well, you could make video after video after video about him. And for about a year and a half, I mean, that was the running joke. Anytime that you could make video after video after video about someone, that was our running joke.
Whine so much on YouTube, showing your ass so much on YouTube. I want to hear Dollar General's side of the story here, because I'm willing to bet it's not so black and white as I thought it was.
It really wasn't either.
A video being made at one point. saying you were lying about the Dollar General stuff, which I still have, albeit not for sure of its validity at this point. Now, I'm not going to say that this is my final word on the topic, because I have a feeling it won't be. This rabbit hole seems to get deeper. The insanity only seems to grow. But I would like to end with a personal message to Deity himself, if he actually has the courage to watch this video all the way through. Deity, I don't think you should quit YouTube. I think you are such an unmitigated disaster that if you quit YouTube, it would be such a wasted potential for the rest of us. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as is tradition, and I will see you next time.
So, yes, like I said, now Deity, like I said, he's still got about 6,000 subscribers. He's lost a quarter of his subscriber base. He gets about 140 people in for a live stream for 3 hours, and he just plays some foodie beauty. Now, Phil is agoraphobic at this point. Phil, since COVID, he does not leave the house. So he's a 30-year-old gay guy that don't leave the house. And eats way too much and watches foodie beauty. That's pretty much it. And once again, he had a pill addiction, and we watched at the beginning of his live earlier, and he said that, he was letting his medicine dissolve in his mouth, and that meant that is a Suboxone strip. So he's still on that, and to be honest, I know a couple here, and they sell half of their Suboxone strips, and they live off of it. So this is what Deity does, is he sells a part of his Suboxone strips, and he lives in his mother's trailer, and that's his life, and he doesn't leave that trailer. I mean, it's like, I just couldn't imagine not leaving this trailer, just saying. During, other than the winter, I spend most of the time outside, until it gets dark. Like I say, most of the year I'm outside. It's just this fall, our winter kind of started early. So I was in the house more this fall. But like I say, normally I'm not in the house unless I need to be in the house. Well, it is. But as I mentioned, before you got here, he is a human being with some potential. He just never could get past ideology and butthurt. He was so wrapped in his SJW ideology. He was so wrapped into always being a victim that he could never progress in life. And once again, if you could go through older content of mine in YouTube Schizophrenic, like that deleted live stream, I think in that deleted live stream, if I remember correctly, that was mentioned, that he was a man of potential. It's just his own anxiety, his own SJW philosophy ruined him as a human being. And if it wasn't for those two things, he would have made a really good creator, and anyone would have said he would have made a good friend. But I mean, literally, the SJW playbook, everyone had to recite that verbatim with no mistakes, or the Deity community cast you out. And I mean, that was really messed up. Now, we'll see if there's any other audio on. But like I said, I wanted to introduce that because, like I said, in reality, this goes back into my channel lore. And this is why we had to create a Verily Veronica. Because, once again, he had me slurred all up and down the YouTube, and all I was doing was giving professional commentary. You see, on my other channel, I gave heavily analytical content. But after doing that on that other channel and seeing how little YouTube takes that seriously, I just don't even care anymore. So I am very relaxed about it. Whatever. That's kind of my philosophy in life now. Whatever. But there's times like, when I do the Leticia content, I try to get back to what I was doing before and how I did it and get more professional content. Now, when we find the new lolcows, I will break off my professional hat and I will put it on and take off my whatever hat. Now, I have been watching a lot of online dating Pimp. It's just, he's so fucking pathetic. I don't know if I could make fun of him. Now, he deserves it because he's a horribly sexist ass. And there's many times he does deserve mocked. But there's just a part of me that, because in reality, he really could be the next great lolcow. It's just, as a man, I feel so sorry for the guy. And I shouldn't. This is a funny thing. Normally people accuse me of not feeling for people. And I feel sorry for this asshole. Now I'm surprised. Now usually the mods are very good. Now the one Crystal, she's helped me troll him before. He streamed, he left this one up. I guess he's starting to leave them up more. Oh yeah, he's starting to leave them up now. Used to be he took them all down. He has a stream, single 35-year-old male looking for a girlfriend. In his stream before that, single and looking for a girlfriend. The stream before that, the Chronicles of Looking for a Girlfriend. The stream before that, where are the single women that want to date? Now, the stream before that, in my experience, a woman is nothing but, and then he uses a word that's against terms of service. And what is the single? Wow. He managed to use that same slur and write the word girl in the middle situation tonight. His stream before that, the title's What's the Single Girl CXNT Situation? It's just he didn't use the X. And then his stream before that, are there any single girls that want to date? Well, yes, red-haired girl. In reality, he is the next great lolcow. In reality, I think girls need to destroy him. Really, how bad he is to women, I really don't think it's up to me in the YouTube schizophrenic to destroy him. I think that women should destroy him. Now, I met a creator today in his chat named Vanessa, and she does true crime. And they were having a fight back and forth. And it was kind of funny because he was trying to score with her, and she was trying to let him down gently. And then she got abusive with him. And then the chat, we basically started trolling. Once again, this was not serious. But I acted like I was flirting with her, and she acted like that she was flirting with me. And then another guy in chat jumped in on this and, acted like he was flirting with her. And then she acted like she was flirting with both of us. And it was just fucking eating his soul up. It sent him into a complete meltdown. This is 51 minutes in. This is right before he get. Now you can't see the chat, but that's what we're doing right now in chat. YouTube Schizophrenic, can you link his channel, please? It's called Online Dating Pimp. Now, once again, someone that wants to find a girlfriend on YouTube names his channel Online Dating Pimp. I'm not kidding. And his whole YouTube goal is to find a girlfriend. And now he has 527 subscribers. And that's probably like his 120th. But he is now. I have planned on using him as content, but I have decided that really girls should be the one to destroy him. You know, once again, if you listen to his content for any time, you'll understand why I say girls need to destroy him. It doesn't need me to do it. It doesn't need YouTube Schizophrenic to do it. Women need to band together in a band and rip him apart like maenads. Well, I'd like to see you interview him. Now, it would have to be an 18 plus live stream, I think. But yeah, I'd like to see you interview him. And, you know, why do you think you have trouble with women? Because they're, I mean, that's what I mean. Because every single logical question that you would ask him would engage a meltdown, in my opinion. Now, that could be good for you to do.
I'm going to present.
She knows of him. I showed her some time ago.
And a file.
Yeah, because once again, you know, like for my friends, I'll leave something for a rainy day. But yeah, I showed her him about a month and a half ago.
See if I can do that. All files, there we go. Invalid file type. Fuck.
Right up there.
On this stupid site.
YouTube Schizophrenic's last link is his channel. Right there in chat. But yeah, this is a job for girls. Because once again, you know, where I try to find content that fits. And I decided this some time ago. You know, I might be able to assist in destroying him. But for him, it really needs to be a woman that seriously puts him in his place. Once again, I'd be more than happy to help the woman do that. But yes, this is one of these things that I think a girl needs the lead on and not me. See, unlike some YouTubers where they got to be the center of all attention, I think I could be helpful. But yeah, he really needs someone with boobs to lay him low. And not in the way he wants. Hello, Night Owl.
Present extra camera. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you have to upgrade for that. Fuck you, Vanessa.
That's where we were flirting. Because she's trying to let him down easy. And I think that's where I started my trolling. Because once again, Vanessa and I don't know each other and we're adults. We really weren't flirting.
This is what I'm going to do.
We just pretended we were. And it was funny trolling with her. I mean, I think she could be a fun trolling partner, but I think that's about as far as it goes.
Vanessa the cunt.
Yeah, that's him. That's him. Like I said, there's a part of me that feels sorry for him, and then he opens his mouth. And then he ruins it. Hear him heavy breathing. In his chat,
Actually, I got an idea. Do I have a pen?
now it's funny because I was in chat typing and I didn't realize he had this many pauses.
Let me see. Let me see if I can do this. It won't let me. Spot color.
Hi, Cass.
What the fuck did I do? They don't make this simple. Oh, fuck it. Fuck you, Vanessa. Actually, let's do this. I didn't install it. This is my new computer. Let me see this. Download for free. Why is it not downloading? Oh, there we go. Click here to install.
He did. I mean, now I was there when the meltdown happened. He was on Omegle, and the girls were making fun of him. And he had an epic meltdown, and he screamed until he could hardly talk for 3 days. And the next day he came on saying he needed a doctor, where he just basically screamed out his voice. Now, I don't think he went to a doctor, and he didn't need a doctor. He just needed to stop screaming and have some lemon tea. But yeah, he basically, I was there the day he screamed himself into laryngitis at the girls on Omegle in giant meltdown fits. And like I said, he is worthy of being the next big thing. It's just, I don't have the heart to destroy the maggot. You know, it's kind of like, you see a bug there and you can crush the bug, but you don't crush the bug because you kind of feel sorry for the bug. Now, see, unfortunately for him, this bug is an asshole mouthy. I mean, now if the bug was, you don't go to crush the bug and then the bug starts running off at the mouth, you crush the bug. And that's kind of online dating, Pimp. His name is Online Dating Pimp. And his link should be up in chat. Well, this was working well before. I had a good setup, but for some reason it failed.
I'm gonna put your face on Omegle, Vanessa.
She's a problematic person, put it that way. He's socially challenged. That's his issue. It's what I call an instigator. There's a lot of them in the Void. That's why I don't worry about instigators too much. You just ban them and go on. Because they're interested in attention.
This is what I'm going to do to you, Vanessa. I'm a cunt! 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 I'm a cunt. I'm a cunt. Yeah, I'm a cunt. Do you know what a cunt is? What's a cunt? I'm a cunt.
Yes, he put her picture on his Omegle, and he's flipping through people, calling her a CXNT. Like I said, remember how I said a woman needs to put this man in his place, not me or YouTube schizophrenic, or we would have already had a conversation about putting him in his place. But a woman needs to humiliate him, probably every day.
I'm a cunt. I'm a cunt. I'm a cunt. I'm a cunt.
Oh, it's good. You see, the thing with Roger is, it was fine what you said in chat because you're stating facts. Now, once again, I don't let people attack each other in chat, but if you're stating that the sky is blue, that's always fine. And once again, I have a habit of tearing up the landscape when I do things. So that's why sometimes the kindest thing that I can do for everyone is not to get involved, because that starts to polarize everything. Now, there are people that's not welcome here anymore, and to be honest, I've had to block the liberators. And because they did something that violated what I consider propriety. Because there are YouTube unwritten rules. And when you go into other people's chat and start telling chatters to roll out, well, then you're not going to get the opportunity to do that on my channel, because I will already have you banned. And so, yes, I have nothing personally against the liberators, but when they went into other people's chats and started telling people to roll out, I went straight to their channels and I blocked both of their channels, because they're not going to get the chance to do that here. And any creator that does that will find themselves pre-blocked on this channel. And like I said, I didn't want to have to block them. I wasn't going to block them. But when they started to go into chats and do that, well, I have to take the business decision to block them. Like I said, I've tried to keep things neutral here so people can enjoy entertainment. But when creators are doing that, no, you can't
What's
be
your
here.
number? I'll call you as long as you're not going to yell like a child.
They do get on the phone. It takes a bit. But yes, like I say, this dude does need nuked. And he is worthy of being the next great lolcow because he does stupid things. But once again, it needs to be a woman that annihilates him. He's a rainy day person for me. And this is why I'm introducing him now. Because there was no real good audio from last night.
I don't give you my number without giving everybody my number.
And then I told him, get a Google Voice number. And then his old number wasn't good, and I told him you have to use them. And then he gets another number.
I'm going to turn... Yeah. Account. Messaging. Allow incoming calls. There, Vanessa.
Well, he is boring. No. Once again, the thing is like me and YouTube schizophrenic, our job is to make these people interesting. And that's it too. Because a lot of them are quirky and not always interesting at every given moment, but our job is to make them interesting. Now, once again, you see his meltdown when he deals with women, and you're about to hear him talk to one on the phone. But he's only going to get worse. You know, in his sexual frustration to get a girlfriend, he's only going to degenerate. He's only going to get more explosive as time goes on. Well, yes.
A cold shower.
And once again, where I said before that, you know, mine and YouTube schizophrenic styles work well. Because many times he and I can shorthand talk to each other and don't have to go through a lot of stuff because it's stuff that we know each other will know or be able to figure out. But this is where I'm sure at some point, you know, YouTube schizophrenic will have fun with him. Likely. Because as, you know, he said, you know, he's best viewed as a clip compilation. And that would be funner. Now, my job is to make him understandable. And once again, the other interesting thing is this Vanessa, she is a YouTube creator with a channel with about 6,000 subscribers that does true crime. So that will be an interesting connection. And once again, we at least know each other distantly because we trolled online dating Pimp together. Now, you see, as creators, you never know when you're going to meet a new creator. But once again, if I need anything true crime, I now know a new true crime person. Well, Monica, I hope that you're well, and please give Monica prayers and keep us appraised. Now, an infection, but you know, I hope that everything's going to be okay. Now, once again, I'm betting you got a urinary infection, but you know, because with boys, it's usually pretty easy to tell when you have a UTI, but many times with girls, you do not. And then at some point, it can go on until you start having a kidney issue like she's having right now. And this is why, in reality, with like girls, you need to take girls' issues more seriously. And this is one thing that I do tell my fellow men. You know, that there's certain things like that a girl might not notice that a man would. Because with a man, that's a lot more, because of our junk on the outside, you know, it's a lot more obvious when we have that issue. But with women, you know, that can just get missed. Matter of fact, women might not even hardly feel anything.
I'm not getting any calls or anything. Or text messages for that matter.
Got to give it a moment, Pimp. He's impatient too. Kind of like Summer. Summer is unbelievably impatient. And she's killing my knee right now, by the way. I really want to... Oh, I got a kitty that wants in the door. No.
My number's not in service. What, are you kidding me? Hold on.
And that's when I had to tell him that you have to use it every now and then or they take it away. And then he gets another number real quick and they talk.
Oh.
And that's where he read my message.
My text, why does it say? Hold on, I might need a new number. That's why.
But his whole live streams is around him getting a girlfriend.
Here, try this one.
And like I say, I want to feel sorry for him, but then he opens his mouth and ruins it.
That should work. You don't have to pay for a date. What about, I forgot about Twitter DM. Do you even have Twitter, Vanessa?
Rachella's brother wants in. I see his paw under the door. Trying to get Rachella. They're fighting in between the door.
I'm getting text messages.
Well, I found just go about your life, and sometimes it happens and sometimes it don't.
I don't think sugar daddy should be a thing. It should be that shouldn't be allowed. That should be.
Now, Vanessa, she was saying in chat she wanted a sugar daddy, and that upset him. Yeah, I mean, that really did. I mean, he don't want to have to, put out for, like I say, he wants the girl to put out, but online dating pimp, he don't want to put out any jack at all. Put it that way.
If I had my own country, I'd ban that.
Now, how are you going to ban gratuities? I mean, if I want to buy Gingy something nice, I should be allowed to buy Gingy something nice. And this is America. I should be able to buy Gingy as much as I can afford.
So Vanessa's not calling
if I want to. But he's going to ban that.
I'm getting a guy with gay stuff trying to text me.
Well, good for you. Chat already said that he should become gay, and he won't.
Hello? Hello?
Oh, why are you such an angry little man? Why are you triggered? Did I hurt your feelings?
Is this Vanessa?
It is Vanessa.
Yeah. Did I hurt your feelings?
How come you're being a cunt?
Normally, well, I don't think I'm a cunt, but if you want to think that that's okay with me, I just find it really funny because, I've watched you off and on for years, right? So you'll scream and yell at girls, you call them a cunt, and then you think that, I think you get your dick, a little bit hard, you get a little chubby. So you get really excited about yelling at girls, but I think it got you really mad that I'm not bothered. I actually find it really funny.
I think you're mentally ill.
I mean, maybe I am. Who knows? I just think you're really mad that I didn't want to hang out with you and I'd rather be single. But you know what? I have a good idea for you. I think since you've been trying to look for a girlfriend for such a long time, I think that you should actually try Grindr. Grindr might be more your speed. Maybe you should try Bully.
You're a fucking mentally ill woman. You need help. You need Dr. Phil.
You are guaranteed to get a date because, I've seen people with colostomy bags on there get dates. So, if people with colostomy bags can get dates, I'm pretty sure you could.
Why won't you get help?
I don't need any. I'm really good. I'm fine. I'm sorry that my independence triggers you.
Well, let me tell you something, you piece of shit. I am getting money off of you. You're getting fucked anyways through the tax money, taxpayer. So fuck you.
Now, YouTube Schizophrenic, I just put a video of Vanessa's on my community tab. Could you please link Vanessa's channel in my chat, please? And because this is the girl, like I said, she has a true crime tarot channel. And once again, this is the girl that's annihilating him. And She's got 5,320 subscriber. Her channel is It's Me, Vanessa, Duh. And like I said, she's got 206 videos. Psychic medium readings are available by appointment. And she does true crime. And this is the girl that is smacking down the online dating pimp.
Do I give you money for my taxes? Because you're probably have some sort of disability. While you're calling me mentally unstable? Come on.
You are mentally unstable in your relationships and your dating life.
I'm mentally unstable. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess everyone is in there a little bit of way, but I'm not. I think I'm pretty good.
You're a piece of shit.
I need it.
But I'm a piece of shit that didn't want to go out with you and rejected you, so you got your feelings hurt. And you've been really mad. Why are you so mad?
Well, you know what? You know, psychopaths like you are always happy.
Psychopaths like me are always happy. Okay. I mean that's not really a good theory, but okay.
Summer, you're a psychopath and you're not happy all the time.
Well, they are.
I think your feelings are hurt. I think you're a little boy. Probably have a little pee-pee. And I think your feelings are hurt. And I think I triggered you because I have never seen you go so hard for anybody. I think I triggered you because you don't bother me. I actually find it really funny. When you were on the little chat thing and you were like, I'm a cut, I thought that was pure fucking gold. And I really did enjoy the rock song that you dedicated to me, and I truly do appreciate it.
I skipped that.
I will tell you, though, when you called the Chinese food place, I absolutely love that as well.
Yes, no.
If you
Now,
want
see, what
some
she's referring to is, I didn't give you the full event. Yes, he was calling, he took a back scratcher and he was singing a nasty song to her. And then he started calling restaurants and saying that Vanessa was a bad person, though he used foul language doing it. Like I said, those parts I skipped out because you know how he was pausy. I wanted to get to this call.
better material on prank phone calls. You've got to call numbers where they actually understand what you're saying and can talk back to you. Definitely try Olive Garden. They will always pick up the phone. You can call Home Depot, talk to the lumber department, and ask them how to build a glory hole. You just never know what you're going to get from that conversation.
You have a lot of glory holes in your home. And you know what? That's probably all you're good
If
for.
I did have a glory hole in my home, I still wouldn't go out on a date with you.
You're a screwed up person, and you need help.
Oh, okay. What do you, I mean, you
And the thing is, every girl will break his heart. I mean, she was not leading him on. In fact, she was doing the exact opposite. She was saying she wasn't interested and she's not interested in a boyfriend because she doesn't want a relationship. That fucking set him off. And supposedly all women are supposed to want a relationship. Once again, if you had listened to this whole live stream, but like I said, we weren't going to play an hour of him just to hear those two things that I mentioned.
But I really think if you're going to scream and yell at people and do all this stuff, you're going to have to develop a thicker skin, buddy. You really are.
Thicker skin? Thicker skin? You mean you're fat?
Not in height, but in range. So, I really do, in all honesty, I really do think that you need thicker skin. I shouldn't have been able to trigger you and break your heart. I'm an internet stranger, little buddy.
Yep.
You don't know what you're even doing. If you look at yourself in the mirror, you see a fucking clown.
Oh, you're so right. Hey, but you know what?
I'm just putting this up, put up.
I'm putting stuff up. How can you be a pimp and not have any hoes?
Because you're out of pocket, like I told you before.
You've been an online dating pimp for such a long time. How does a pimp not have any hoes? It doesn't work. It does not work. The math doesn't math.
They haven't existed yet. They don't exist yet. They're on dating sites. They're trying to be matched.
No, they just don't exist for you. So what I really think you should do is maybe go down to your local YMCA. You might find someone a little bit more your speed there. You could go to Grindr.
Would you shut the fuck up with the gay shit?
Oh my God, baby. No, you can find a trans female. Some of them are really beautiful.
Would you shut up with the gay shit? Fuck you. And fuck your goddamn whole dating life is fucked up.
You should try it. I mean, you told me I was a lesbian. If you can call me a lesbian, why can't I say that you're gay? But you know what, though? If I was a lesbian, I could still get more pussy than you. I could have pussy appear at my house in 5 minutes. You could have pussy appear at your house in 5 fucking years.
I can get a hotel room and get a hooker just like I... What are you talking about?
You have to pay for it.
No, I had somebody else pay for it.
Yeah, somebody else pay for it.
Remember, you pay me? You tax money, bitch?
This is like not even worth it. Oh my God.
What is worth it? No, what is worth it? Because, let me ask you, did you pay for it with your tax money? Or did somebody else pay for it, like a billionaire named Alki David?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Because you don't know, you're only a periscoper.
Oh, a periscope. Do they even have periscope anymore? I don't even think they have periscope anymore.
You're a dildo head.
I'm a dildo head. Okay.
Hello there.
Okay. That's a
Hello,
really good
Midnight.
one. I'm a dildo head. Oh, I'm gonna tell my mommy. Speaking of your mom, did she do your laundry for you? I bet you leave a lot of stains in your underwear, buddy. Make sure you should get some white. White will really help you out.
You're a retard. You need help.
Yeah.
No, seriously, you need help from a professional.
Do you want to help me sort out my life?
No, you need a team of psychiatrists to help you.
A team, okay. Do you want to help me assemble one?
Yeah, let's
assemble a team. You look like you're more into X-Men than Adventures.
No, you need an army of fucking psychiatrists.
X-Men.
What are you bringing up X-Men for? Is this a fucking movie theater?
Oh my goodness. Okay, well listen, little buddy. My steaks are done off the grill, so I have to go take those off. And I'm about to eat
Your
dinner.
meat curtains are already fucking well done, so fuck you. Get off my phone.
Hey, that's a woman with steaks. I mean... Now, that's him after he hung up. Yes, after he hung up with Vanessa, this is what online dating pimp immediately took the position. It looks like his soul was destroyed. Now, because he is so cartoonish, he is going to be one of our Saturday morning cartoon characters. Now, once again, because he's so slow, I am only going to find the best parts and show you a little bit of his best part of the day or the week that I can find. But yes, Online Dating Pimp is going to be a Saturday morning cartoon. And now that the holidays is over, unless I'm seasy, I'm going to try to be here for a Saturday morning live stream at some time in the Saturday morning where I will just try to focus more on silly stuff. Now, as I mentioned, I really didn't have much, but that was the one thing that I did find that was definitely worthy of what I desire for Saturday morning cartoons. So, of course, I saved that for the end. I guess I'm telegraphing that we're about to go here in a moment. But yes, that was Online Dating Pimp. So I'm going to try to find cartoonish people acting cartoonish ways, and then we will bring him here, and maybe even sometimes that will be me when I act cartoonish. Now, I'm going to get out of here, and this is going to be posted. And you will see me next Saturday for Saturday morning cartoons, and I will try to find some archive video in this next week and make myself a playlist. And that way I'll have some reserved stupid audio if the week has not been entertaining. Now, thank you for coming, and I will see you next Saturday for Human Cartoons. Now, before I go, on the Grimgoth the Dark Elf channel, he is going to start having vlogs. And these are going to be 1-hour live streams to where Grimgoth is going to make up fantasy bullshit that is supposedly his life. And it will hopefully be entertaining comedy. And this will be in Sunday evenings, sometime after dark. Because that's Grimgoth's way. So that will be a bit. Now right now, it's time for Roger to get up, clean up, get him some food. I've already fed the kitties, but it's time for me to start doing chores. It's almost 10 o'clock. Now, thank you for coming, and I'll see you next week for Saturday morning cartoons.